Good evening, guys. Let's put the music a bit down. Hello, good evening. Welcome again to ByteDelight's headquarters in Eindhoven, the Netherlands. I hope the mic is okay. I'm using my HyperX microphone here without a pop filter, but maybe I will install it later on. It should be better because I mounted it to the wall or near to the windows, but in the past I had it on the desk here, and you could hear any vibration, and hope it's less now. Let's see, that's a long sec. Yeah, that's a long sec. That's it. Yeah, that's true. It's just a standard screen. I'm not sure what did it say. Live in a sec. Yeah, live in an hour or something. I could change it. I think I could change it easily. Let's change it. Live in. Why do you change this? Live in a sec or something. Okay. Now it doesn't fit. You see, that's the problem. Hence I said, let's keep it a sec. But okay, live in a sec or something. We'll change it to live here. Why not? Right. So now it's live in a sec or something. All right. Good evening, guys. Man, it's a load of questions already. Let's get through a couple of them already because I see some good questions. Let's shout out some people. Owen, good evening. Wayne, good evening. As always, welcome. Like you being here. Stuart, good evening. Haggai, I hope I pronounced it correctly. I will answer your questions in a second. Who else is here? Mark, good evening. Black Country Me. If you tell me who you are, maybe you've told me in the past. I don't remember. But anyway, welcome, of course. What's a bit quiet? Is the microphone a bit quiet? I can put it louder. Maybe it's better now. It's still in the yellow area, so it shouldn't be too loud. And I put it a bit up because when I move over to the other side of the room, I still want people to be able to hear me. Let's put the amplifier a bit down so you won't hear strange echoing. Right. Yeah, I'm far from done. And if you're wondering what this means I just got coffee because otherwise I cannot get through this. And the other one is the tape here is because I taped the upper camera here in all strange ways, as you can see on the main view here, because the camera, the 4K camera, is actually mounted to this LED panel magnifier glass, which I don't use. But it's mounted with these spring thingies here, and it's bumpy as hell. So I will print something, some holder, some stand for the Brio camera, so it won't move this much whenever I bump the table. You will see, you will notice. So it's not perfect yet. I'm still trying to improve this. I actually swapped this camera here, so it's a bit better than the cheap Chinese one I had, but it still is it's just a simple HD camera. It's not too much. Alright, let's see, what else do we have? We have the work desk without me. Tell me which one you prefer. If you prefer the one without me, I will use that only. And of course we have the test corner, which is the same crappy Logitech camera, but it's you can see what I'm doing, so that's, I think it's enough. Right, let's get back to the questions. Tape it. What should I tape? Here are my questions. Any news about Spectronet? It's a good question. I think I promised to have them available in May. I didn't succeed. That's because I'm still working on bookkeeping changes. Those are still not ready. It's giving me a lot of headaches, but we'll get through them. But it will the bookkeeping changes will still take weeks, but the Spectronet won't need that long, and the main reason for that is that I really need to get some of those products back available again, like the dual flop drive sets, the white rainbow LED cases, and Spectronet and some other stuff, ZXAY for example, because people really are waiting for them for long now, and if I want to be able to continue this business, I should have products available. So those are the two main reasons. So I really should get them available soon, and I think I have at least 2 of the what did I say, 4 or 5 products that I just named available in something like 2 weeks. In the meantime, I have to do all kinds of other things, like my one of my brothers bought a house recently, so he's renovating, and there's a lot of stuff going on there. So we scraped off the whole floor and drilled off, obviously. So loads of containers full with flooring, and tomorrow I will help him with some plastering, because unfortunately I can do that, so people will know where to find me. And I helped another brother who is also renovating his house, where he's living already for a couple of years, I think. I helped him last Sunday, I think, when all the women from my family were gathering at some place doing nice, cool stuff. And I helped my brother out for a day, so that was cool as well. And we were just removing old floors. One house is from 1945, and the other house is from 1941 or 40. I think 1940. I think it said. So both houses are very old. A lot of work, but we got the containers filled, and I got really dirty. So my hair was even grayer than it is now. Right, talking about grey, I just got a grey +2, and my FMC Enjoy is working only some of the time. Sometimes it's only random colors and squares on the screen. What could cause it? My first guess would be maybe the Z80 CPU is a CMOS one. Maybe it has been replaced once because, for example, the NMI signal didn't work. But the problem is, when you buy Z80 CPUs from China, often you do not know exactly what type you get. So the main differentiation is that you got CMOS versions and NMOS versions, and all original ZX Spectrums really require an NMOS CPU instead of a CMOS. CMOS is more power efficient, so it consumes less power, but the CMOS CPUs work fine in Harlequin kits, Harlequin boards, but for original ZX Spectrums you really should need a NMOS CPU. So that's my first guess. So if you have the option, maybe swap out a Z80 CPU and see if the problem disappears. What else could cause this? Which DiffMC model are you using? Is it a Pro version or is it an old version? Because the older ones require a working clock line on the edge connector of the ZX Spectrums, and the modern versions don't. But if that would be the issue, then the interface would boot up, but cannot read the SD card, so it should not show random colors. And what else could it be? Maybe some power issues. If you're using an original power supply, you could try using a modern switching one, as I offer in the web shop. So that could be an idea. So those are the 3 first things I can think of, and I think those are the same things that you can find on troubleshooting.bytedelight.com, and get to the DiffMC section there. So let me know if you can, if any of those helps you out, and if not, get in contact please, and we will try to figure out. Edge connector being not well connected. Yeah, you can use, of course, that's the first thing. I didn't say it because I think you've done it already, but clean the edge connector. Is important with IPA, so isopropyl alcohol, and some kind of swabs, for example. That's what I do. All right. Oh, more messages. Oh, stop. I shouldn't scroll this much. I tried cleaning, but maybe I need some more. Before my first cleaning, it didn't work at all. Yeah, could be still, because some edge connectors can be very dirty. So I often continue to clean with just sorry. So alcohol with cotton swabs until the cotton swab is not getting black anymore. And of course, if you rub too much, then you can rub the pads of the circuit board. So be careful with that, because alcohol will of course dissolve the glue underneath the track. So be careful, clean it up and dry it afterwards. So I always use one side to clean and one side to dry, and that's my way of doing it, to be careful. Let's see. Damn it! Just bought a Spec of Evil Day. Said it needed a new membrane, but the upper RAM is bad. Trying to find a repair guy in the UK that doesn't cost me an arm and leg. Well, you could alternatively get a ZX die card, which will cost you, I don't know. Let me see. The DIY kit costs something like £35 in the UK, plus shipping, of course. And then you can find which chip is being hard, being bad. So that's another way of doing it, but. For that amount, you can have someone fix it, I think, for you instead, if you preferred it. Then buy the ZX VJ and resell it for profit. Which one? ZX VJ. ZX VJ. Oh, it's a link, I think. Oh, let me check if I can open that link. Okay, someone is reselling his ZX HD. Without Raspberry Pi. I think it's about the same price as I for the new in the web shop, but it's still they're available in the web shop. So yeah, so the big problem is that the Raspberry Pi isn't available anywhere, and I still sell ZX HDs, but I guess some people have one somewhere in the drawer or something. All right. Good evening, Robert. Good evening. Oh, Rob. Okay, Black Country me is Rob. Good evening, Rob. Let me see. Fellow chatters. Did you see the Flopton 3.0? Oh, yeah, of course I did. It's really cool. I have a Panasonic TV downstairs with YouTube built-in, and it serves me the most ridiculous videos that I'm not interested in, but for some reason the Floptron 3.0 was featured in the featured videos on the Panasonic TV, so they did something good. I'm not sure where the guy got them from. I know there are some people in Poland that do have a lot of floppy drives for sale as well, but those were mostly dark gray, and I can't use dark gray ones. I really need black ones. So I have my address in the UK that has plenty, fortunately. So you have the Pro model. Pro model is the good one, the newer ones, and the original PSU. So that could be a problem, maybe. I have seen some original power supplies that are not completely stable anymore because the capacitor, for example, needs to be replaced. That's inside the power supply. It's something like, I think, 1,000 microfarads. So a big one, like, let me grab one here. This is a small one. So it's something like this. So a big capacitor. This is a 4700 microfarads. Those are just rectifier capacitors, or not rectifier, but they flatten the voltage, output voltage. So that could be a cause for problems. So if you can, you could try a modern switching one. Always be careful with the polarity of the power supplies. The ones we offer are good for any original ZX Spectrum and Harlequin kits. But if you buy a generic 9-volt power supply, it will definitely blow up your computer because the polarity is the reversed. Keep an eye on that. Alright, Ben, can a ByteDelight and KMOS turbo be used together? Yes. The only thing is you need to should be able to use them. I think. Oh wait, no. There could be conflicts in the I/O addressing. I have to look that up, but the ByteDelight has its I/O ports that is used for the floppy port and more, and the KMOS turbo could use the some bits of the same ports, so that could conflict indeed. I've never heard someone use that combination before, but I can imagine that could be a problem. Yes, there is a web page somewhere. I can try to look it up quickly. Let me see if I can find the list of I/O ports that someone made. But but I'm not sure if the plus D is in there. DiffMC, MSX, no. Too bad one of the Dutch MSX people passed away last week. So there's a lot going on there. Let's see. ZX Spectrum I/O ports, add-ons it is. There is a web page somewhere with a list of I/O ports that and how they're decoded, but I can't find it, so I'm not sure where it is. Anyway, I could look it up. The problem with ZX Spectrum add-ons is always that the I/O addressing is only partially decoded. So usually you should every add-on should decode all 16 bits of the address bus, but often they're not completely decoded. And for example, port 254 is used by the ZX Spectrum by only checking one bit of the address bus, for example, for the 8-bit part of that. So a lot going on there, but that's the way Sinclair could offer the ZX Spectrum cheaply. So that's quite hard, and I'm not sure if we can solve that. But at least you could try to disable the joystick ports of both and see if it works then. But the joystick ports usually will not interfere with the other features of the interfaces. So if they conflict, the floppy interface, for example, should still work. But I'm curious. Alright, I've seen the edge connector being cleaned with a pencil eraser. Yeah, I've heard some people do that, and I think the feature was 8-bit offers just erasers to clean your edge connector. It could work. I think it's quite a bit harder to reach the edge connector correctly because you have to get the board out of the machine, of course. Hence I prefer the cotton swabs. And although some people say that using too much IPA can get the tracks loose, detached from the board, I've never had that myself, and I really clean edge connectors quite a lot. For example, for my test boards on the other side, I do it every week a couple of times, and some boards I'm using for months until I replace it. So I never had it, but maybe once or twice, but that was because someone already did a lot of work on the edge connector. So, but myself with the boards that I use, never had problems with IPA. So eraser could work, but I prefer IPA, so I know that all the ugly stuff is getting off. Am I young? Who's young? Who's young? Am I young? Yeah, that's a compliment. I like that. I still feel young. Hey Jesper, good evening. Good evening. When will the Pro Mini case be ready for download? I'm actually, I shouldn't show some parts of this, but I'm sending this one to someone. This is a special version, because so I can't show all of this. This is a blue one, as you can see. I'm going to print them in all the other colors, so blue is on the reel there, but I also have, of course, I now have, since last week, oh, there's more colors here. Where's my other order? Red is on the machine. Can you see it? It's on the 3D printer. This is my old 3D printer. I should replace it already. The new one is in a box down somewhere between there. And I have green, and I've got blue, and I've got yellow. So we got all the ZX Spectrum colors, and that's the most important. So I'm going to print the case in all colors, and then I'm going to offer the case for download, the design. Just wanted to do that to make the final photo and then put it online, but it will come, and it's quite a cool case. I do have some prototype prints here. If someone likes prototypes, then let me know. So these were all the versions I printed. So this one I printed, and I did some spray painting, and I didn't configure the printer well, so it's quite ugly, and my camera's not focusing because I put it on manual focus. Anyway, so this was the first one. This one is a very quick print. You can see it's garbage. It's really fragile. Then I had quite a good print, but it got some warping on the edges. I did try to sand it down. It's not a perfect print as well. But you can, it's got a top part and a bottom part. And the bottom part, you can put the circuit board in here, then slide the top part over it. And you just need 2 screws on the sides, 2 small screws to attach it properly. Sometimes it's a if your printer isn't that good, it will hold it together itself. This is perfect already because of all the friction, and I cannot show it, but I can put it here. And it stands by itself. So I made it in a way that this holds the interface at the correct height on a normal ZX Spectrum, any model, which is important to avoid wobbling, you know. This works perfectly, and I got some. Let's check if these are, if I can show these. Some other blueprints here. I really like the blue for some reason. I don't know. I like the blue. It's because of let me put it here. It's a ByteDelight colors, as you can see. And some more of the special edition here that is some prints on. I can't show you, so I have to be careful. It's something special, not for myself, but for someone who asked. So more of the special version. So these are all prototypes, and these are quite cool already. I like the feeling of this one. This is with very thin layer height. I like it. So loads of protos here. I should be careful to show what's in there. Anyway, it's a surprise for some people. Just keep your agenda open in November. That's the only thing I can say. Okay, what's the next message before if I ever get to repairs this evening? Anyway, I will leave all the cameras on tomorrow, and after I get home from plastering and take a shower to get all the white off, I will continue repairs. That's the only thing I can and should do. Okay, hey Lewis, good evening. Good evening. Hope it's good weather in Portugal. Hi Ben, all received well and working with like a charm. Yes, thank you Ruud. I saw your questions. I have so many emails and PMs that I still have to reply to. Great that everything works. That's the most important. But I saw some questions of you, so we'll reply to them. Fiberglass pen is okay, but small doses. Yeah, I have one as well, but it's mainly when contacts are really corroded. So I use this glass fiber pen. You shouldn't get this in your fingers because it's very ugly. So it's glass fiber. It's hard to see without the manual focus, automatic focus. You can replace these brushes here, but this is really important for contacts that really need to be really clean. And I use this sometimes on really bad contacts. I have everything here. Good evening, everybody. Cathers, good evening. Try again with the Trusty Joy disabled. Okay, I've been trying out the Artist 2 and make some. Oh, cool! I'm making some not very good art. Art is art. Whatever it looks. If it's art to you, then it's art to me. Sorry to bang on about the KMOS, but it'd be interesting in case you can make those available in the shop sometime. Which ones? KMOS? KMOS is available. Which one do you mean? Oh, the case. Interested in the case. Oh, you mean the case for the KMOS? Well, I promised I would make them available already. But I have the first finished version here, and I've got more of the there's some dust in it. So this is the new case for the KMOS Turbo, and I will do more interfaces with this kind of case. So it uses plastic screws, as you can see here, which will not scratch your desk, for example, or maybe if you have a really soft desk, then you still should be careful. There's only one rubber feet here because I could only use 3 screws instead of 4 because the board is not designed for putting it in a case, so hence I had to do it this way. But I think the design is really cool. It looks really great, and the ones that the 2 edge connectors vertically are sticking out good enough to put on another interface. I tested a lot. The Power LED has a light guide on it. I 3D print them as well. Maybe you can see it from the side here. So I 3D print those light guides nowadays. Oh man, I really 3D print everything I can imagine. So even this standoff here is, the standoff in between the bottom board, case board, and the circuit board is 3D printed. So this is one standoff. And I really like doing that because it's the best way of getting custom parts. So this is the actual standoff, as you can see here. So I print a lot of them, and they're not that easy because there's a flat part. It's hard to see, but there's a flat part. But this is great to print, and all these kind of small standoff. I can print them the exact height that I want. Oh, this is one one of the light guides, which is hard to see, but I print them with transparent filament, and if you print them in the correct way, then they let the light through very well. And I got a lot of those boards. You can see me here through this. This is cool. So a lot of those case boards. I call them case boards. What names would you give them? So I just call them PCB cases. That's what I thought of. I think they look great. It's really cool to design these. I'll have a lot of fun designing them. And of course, the interface is designed by George Jury from, I think, Czech Republic, if I'm not mistaken. And he did a great job on the latest version of the Camps and Mouse Turbo interface. So those will be available soon. I have so many things to do. Anyway, those will come. I will get the case available for the Camps and Mouse separately as a kit, so you with a small guide how to mount it the easiest way, because it could sometimes be hard to get this done correctly on. Right, I think I got through all the messages until now. So can we finally do something? Let me get something to drink. This is a sugar-free lemonade. I should have got a beer or something. I'm still not sure if you can have a beer on YouTube streaming. Printed circuit case. What is PCC? PCB maybe? Printed circuit case. Yeah, that's what I try to call them. So printed PCB case, I just call them. It's made of a circuit board material. The case looks really good. Looking forward to download and print for my Pro Mini. Yes, that's a Pro Mini case. So a lot of cases are going to be available, and I'm looking forward to see your prints, and they're most probably better than mine, because I'm still using that old printer here. But again, I have an Ender 5 Pro somewhere just next to my pick and place machine, but I don't have the time yet to get it assembled. Some other stuff that's going around here, so lots of repairs that still have to be done. Big box here on my right, which contains the IKEA what is it called, desk thingy that's going on the wall instead of the simple shelves there. And I'm going to add some really cool lighting controlled by a ZX Spectrum. Obviously, if you do addressable RGB lighting, then it should be controlled by a ZX Spectrum. And I've got so many cool ideas. Like I cannot tell you about it yet. There's something really cool that has been waiting for months as well, and I think everybody will like it really a lot, because it's really special. It's something like playing Fortnite on a real ZX Spectrum, and I'm not joking. Or Rocket League or something else on a real ZX Spectrum. It's not joking. I'm really not joking. I will show you. So it involves ZX Spectrum Plus, and it works. You will be surprised. I cannot tell you any more of that. It should be a surprise. And maybe I ruined it already. I don't know. Okay, let's see. The music, the video that contains the music is running for about. We have an hour left of music, so that's good. Since my last video, I think I added this third monitor here, so I got 3 of them. Maybe I can show you a bit. Oh, so I got 2 1440p displays. This is a high refresh rate screen here, and I got a 4K display right next to that for HDR material and more. And this helps me to get enough windows open and see everything at once, which is really useful when you do a lot of work at the same time, or do live streams with lots of displays and so forth. Alright. One person has been waiting for the longest, and I really should work on his repairs first. Let me check, because I forgot already what needs to be done, but it's in this box here, and I can't show you the box because there's address information on that, and I will not share that, obviously. Let's see. I think I have to get into my email for that. I hope no emails coming in. Let me check. Oh, stop. No, 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 no. Let's see if we can... Yeah, that was... Okay, my email plays music, some sounds when someone places an order, and I don't want to get it in the live stream. Sometimes when a guest is here, they can hear the same sounds, and you see a happy face from me. And anyway, all right, let's get to the email now because the music is gone. Yes. All right. So that was James ordering something. He's not in the chat, so I don't think he's on the video. Maybe he is. I don't know. There are many people in the stream. Let me check what this guy Yerki has that I should work on, and let's start working on that then. Let's see. All right, repair. We'll buy the repair refurbishment. Okay, this is a machine that needs to be refurbished. It does work, it seems. What is the problem? Okay, very bad picture, so most probably capacitors at least. Yeah, this machine has very bad video output. Alright. Membrane and keyboard are new. Overall repair and refurbishment. The issue is very poor graphics. Okay, let's open it up and connect it to the test bench and see what the current status of this machine is. Hey Anthony, good evening. All right, let me do some. Let me make sure that the address is not shown because I think it's important for people. Get on some newspapers. Sometimes I like to see what's going on in other countries, but let's not do that on a live stream now. I did get an iPad box, and it's good that people use an iPad box for a ZX Spectrum because the ZX Spectrum is worth at least as much as an iPad. When it comes to sentiment, it does so. I eat capacitors, very tasty. I do like chips, but capacitors I haven't tried yet. I know the smell of them when one burns. I had it a couple of weeks ago when I was repairing a machine from someone. It wasn't on a live stream, but I remember that when we did the first test after replacing the capacitors, one said bang and some smoke, you know. It did scare me a lot, especially because the other person was in the same room. But those things still happen, you know. All right. So let's get over to the workbench here instead of doing it in front of my PC, so we can finally use that camera. Oh, that was stupid. All right, that's off now. Sorry. Next attempt. All right. Yes. Okay, so it's a 40K rubber threaded ZX Spectrum with the non-original screws, so I might replace them with original ones if they still fit. Let me see if the thread diameter is the same. I think it's almost the same, so I think that won't be a big problem. Yeah, this should be okay. Let's get a couple of original screws instead later on. If you're wondering what this is a really cool tool, really neat tool. So I also print these standoffs for tactile buttons. So these go on top of a small tactile button in, for example, a Pro 1 interface, and I can put the blue and red caps easily into those. Oh, you can see in those the holders, the standoffs, and it's really simple because I print these on a large mat, and then I put in the buttons. It's something really cool. So I designed this simple tool myself, and I used it a lot for those kinds of purposes, and it's just so cool. You can print everything. So these are, for example, light guides for the ZXHD. These are light guides for Pro 1 interfaces. These are standards for the Pro 1 PCB case interfaces. This is so cool. You can print anything you can imagine. So that's what I like. Right. They smell like fish. Maybe, I don't know. I never had a capacitor that smelled like fish, but mostly I'm not continuing to smell them, to inhale them once they pop. I don't think it's healthy. All right, so we got a beautiful, easy to replace keyboard with the clips. As far as I know, these are from the issue 2 era, but this board is actually issue 4B. And I know these are mixed a lot. Later on, get rid of old stock. One screw obviously in the middle. Yeah, this is cool. This capacitor has been replaced, I think, but with a very strange one. And there has been some soldering done here, so I wonder if those have been replaced at one time. Oh, and I think the owner still uses the antenna output. Let me check. Yeah, so I will ask him if it's okay to modify this to composite video, because I actually don't know, and it will be hard to test it out on a TV, because I could test it, but I should do it by antenna. So what would be wise? So I wonder, I think these are replaced capacitors, and I'm not sure, because one side hasn't been touched, it seems, and one side has been soldered on many of these. So I wonder what happened there. Let me check. I think it looks like all the capacitors have been replaced, but I'm not sure. Let me see on the back. No, this one, for example, has not been replaced at one side, but the other side has been cut maybe and soldered again. So maybe for some troubleshooting, fault finding, I don't know. It seems the SATA CPU has been socketed, maybe also because there was a fault on the board and the person was looking for the cause of it. So I'm not sure if someone has been working on these, why they haven't been replaced, because I think these are still the original. It's hard to say. Why have these been cut and have not been replaced, except for this one here? So I don't know, but I think I will just replace them. But maybe it's good to do a quick test first and ask the owner if if the composite video can be replaced. Just a second. Right. Did you tell me that it could be maybe an email already? Let me check. Maybe it already said that. Yeah, let me just ask him. I can't find it in the email. So alright, so question asked. Now we wait. But in the meantime, I will actually Okay, I will actually modify this composite video for now because otherwise it's hard to test. Let me just put this one off because of the noise. For some reason this one is loud as well. Oh, I'm bumping. Still loud. Anyway, so you can see the mounting of the camera is really not that good. But fortunately it can be changed with, for example, a new mount. We'll think of something, but that's what I wanted to write down as well, so let me just do that in a sec. So in the past I would have thought of a piece of a shelf or something and mount it better, but nowadays I would just design a 3D print correct mount. That's so much better. It's really getting out of hand, all the 3D printing. So once you have one and you get used to using it and designing stuff, you will use it a lot more every day. I just cut the 5 volts. That shouldn't have done that, but anyway, we'll solder it back if we need to. So just connecting the composite video to the output. And I'm curious if the composite video output quality is as bad as the antenna is. Can I solder that back because that wasn't supposed to be done? I had the wrong cable here, wire. Yeah, I can solder it back easily, and I will cut it on the outside, which is better because you can see that it's cut, otherwise you will forget. So, no more 5 volts. Let me check that and get a small piece of paper to write down what I'm doing. All right. Yeah, there could be one that those are cut and to test if the values are still okay, but with 35 or 40 years old capacitors, it's just good to replace them. I've seen so many problems caused by capacitors. So I think we can do a quick test. I will replace the 5 volt regulator in a sec. First, let's get to the other side for the first time in months, and let's see if that camera still works. I think it does. The microphone quality will be worse, but I hope you can still hear me. So composite video, it's on AV, and this should work. And we don't have any picture. Oh, we have. So this is just the bad connector. So the connector is dirty. I can improve that. I will do that in a second. We can see a lot of vertical bars here. Can you see them on? Yeah, you can see them on the camera as well. Most of the time those are caused by the capacitors on the small capacitors around the 4116 chips. But we will replace the other capacitors first and see if it will improve. And otherwise we replace the old capacitors, what is it, 100 nanofarads or something as well. And in the same time we will replace these 5 volt regulators. So the board is working, but the picture quality is quite bad. And let's see if we can improve that. It's not a real repair, it's too bad. We like repairs, don't we? Alright, let's get back to this view here, and let's get all the capacitors out. Oh, I have to watch my Nespresso machine, which I installed next to my work desk. Very important. And the Nespresso machine, I didn't need it because we had a good grinder machine, you know, automatic machine downstairs, but it died, and I tried to repair it myself, but those brands are making it hard to get the machine fully working again. And now I have some relatives that do repair the machines themselves, so I brought my machine to him, and it still didn't work properly, so I got another machine and that works now. So I finally have a good grinder machine in the end, but it took some time. So now I have a grinder downstairs, a fully automatic one, and I have an espresso machine here in my workplace. Why can I not zoom out? Oh, maybe it's because of the... Yeah, that's better. That's what I wanted. Can it be better? No, this is about the maximum I can get. Right, maybe I can improve the focus just a bit. Not really. Right, it's good enough, I think. How about lighting? Yeah, lighting can be improved a bit. All right. Okay. So this will not be that much work. Let's get the regulator out. I will put the heatsink back just for aesthetics. Nowadays I only use the Recom 5-volt DC-DC regulators, so this one's here, because these are as good as the tracker power ones, but a lot cheaper. And there are several brands that offer those regulators nowadays. So I hope I'm back home tomorrow just after lunch, something like that, and I can continue working on the repairs, because there are so many still to be finished. Okay. The ULA chip will be heat sinked later on, but first let's do the capacitors. I always put some new solder on as always. I will check for shorts because there's so much solder on those lags. It's hard to see what I'm doing. I don't like shorts. I have to open the second window, or otherwise I have to power on the extraction hood here, and it makes a lot of noise. I don't like that during the live stream. So again, this is an issue 4B. And I got all the capacitor layouts on this printed paper here, so it's easy to find the correct place later on. soldering station, which is easy to get the holes empty in a second. Alright, one more that I need to heat from the bottom because of the insanely huge ground plane here. That's still not enough. So it's always hard to get this one out. This will work. Alright, so this one is heated up. Alright. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, I did receive a new tool for removing up to 16-pin chips, and that was a tool that you can connect to an older TCPS weather soldering iron. So this part here, it's quite expensive. It cost me something like €50, and I haven't use it yet because it's mainly for example, memory chips on ZX Spectrum boards. But I'm really curious how much easier it will be to use this piece of tooling instead of doing it with the solder iron, for example, the solder station. I hope it will speed it up a lot. We'll see about it, but it's not big enough, obviously, for 40-pin chips or 28-pin chips. think at most of them now, except for this one that I forgot to pull out first. And I think, oh, of course this one's too. I think we're about done then. The one with the huge ground plane still remains here, so I think I will do a combination job that works. Okay, so one more. I think I can do it this way. Let me try. Yep. Okay, I did print this some of a couple of weeks ago, so maybe I can use it this time. We'll see about that. Okay, I'm not sure if this is useful, but it's I made it because I think maybe for one day it can be useful to put a board like this. Looks cool on the camera, I think. Okay, let me check the chats. 4S, don't forget the black capacitor. Yeah, okay. Alright. This is not useful, but it's just cool you can put it this way. Maybe this is useful to if you have too many boards, but I have something else for that, and you want to put them right next to each other. This could be an idea, but it's a simple thingy. All right, let's get a new capacitor in. I think I will use some IPA to clean up the pads because there's a bit of flux remaining there. And this is always good to do so you can see if there's no short between tracks, board tracks at the same time. So cleaning up is a good habit. Looks better and avoids problems. So you can see there's some solder here on the trick where I removed the old one. For me it's too much, so we'll remove it first and second. But for us it's good. Quite clean. Yeah, it looks well. That's better. Okay, let's continue with putting in the new capacitors. So it's quite hard to obtain the correct capacitors at the moment, especially for the correct sizes, because there are so many models available. But if you want the parts that will fit correctly in the ZX Spectrum board, you need specific sizes. So you cannot just choose a bigger value or something, for example, because most of the time the capacitors themselves will be bigger. Right. One microfarad and a 4.7. Then we need, let me check, another one. And then check another one microfarads going to the top. And to finish it off, we need a 22 on the bottom. Aiming to the left. Yeah, that's correct. Alright, I think we're, oh no, just one more, sorry. Check with my magnifier if it's okay there. Yeah. Okay, so this is, I think, the last one. So I wonder if the output will improve. Only replacing these capacitors, and if not, we will replace the smaller capacitors as well. Okay. Nice. Does it look cool? What do you think? No, Mark, I'm using my Mappa caps of that I made here, so, but most of them I know from memory. So the 22, 22, 22, 100, 1, 1, 4.7, 1, 22. I know them without looking there. It's not too difficult. Not too many on here. All right, let's see what the board does now. What do you think? Will the picture output be better, or will it be the same? I think it's about the same. That's what I think. All right. Let me see. if the, yeah, okay, it's okay. I think it's a lot better. Yeah, it's really hard to see the vertical bars now. Can you see them? Can you see the difference? I think it's a lot better, a real lot better. So it did help quite a lot, and I use this TV specifically because this one shows every small detail that's not perfect. All the other ones blurred away or something, but this is really, really cool, really good to have. Let's do a quick test. I can still see some of it, so I wonder if I should improve it. Let's compare it to another board I have here, just to see if how normal it is. So maybe the remaining bars are quite normal. You can see them a bit here. Oh, there's a problem with proper memory, I think. We'll sort of, or is it maybe? Oh, it's just the demo I just used. Okay, okay. Now this one is worse. So I think we should do some more minor improvements. Let's see it again. Still have to improve the output connector. They are visible a bit more than on the board for myself. Yeah, you can see them a bit more, so I think it's good to replace them. Let me check. It's not too bad, but you can see some more vertical bars here. So I think it's good to do that. I just wonder which value I should use. Yeah. The replacements is about done, but I was able to obtain 100 more original ones, so it's not really under pressure at the moment. That's the main reason I haven't worked on given them that much priority, the ZX AVR AY. Let me check, what value should I use to replace them? Because originally those were, let me see. Okay, he wants the composite video, modification, and the cable coming with that, and because he's waiting for it so long, I will add the cable for free. So something like a cable from a meter with this card adapter. Oh, let me just switch here because I'm looking for the schematic of the issue 4B to know what the default value of those capacitors is, and I think I can share it with you in a second. Hope that works. Yeah, that works. All right, let's see. So those have 22 nanofarads. Okay, that's a low value, and I think I will replace them with 100, and then use the wide pitch ones because that's the easiest, I think. I don't have axial capacitors with a similar value, only radial ones, so but it will still look quite nice. Yeah, let's get over here. And this should, from what I've read in the past, this should get rid of most of the vertical bars. So let's see if you can see the difference. Could you see the difference, by the way? Let me know, I'm curious. really would like to know if you could see it from on the camera already. Would be cool. Right, so only those 8 here, those are for those cause the vertical bars stuff. And I think people said replace them with a higher value is good. So we'll use 100 nanofarads. Waiting for the soldering iron to heat up. But it's a lot better already. Come on. Right. So I guess this machine has been used quite a lot in the past, because many of the capacitors have gone bad, and these capacitors, these small value ones, are really standard ones. So if these have gone bad, it must have been because of usage. That's my best guess. Yeah, these parts can be quite boring. If you're still awake, let me know. Again, one on a big ground plane, which is hard. Really hard. That works. Some of these have not been flown with fresh shoulders, so let's do that. That's a lot easier. that's about it. Almost. That should be it. Now one on the top here. That should be it. Then the next thing is do some cleaning. I don't think it's needed here because the pads are really big. It's mostly okay. So let's put in the new ones. And we have to get them to the correct size. Oh, that was one on the floor. Alright, next one. So we don't have these in 10mm size, it's even bigger than that. I think something like 15 or so. Let's try one. Yeah, it's really a lot bigger. A lot bigger, not a little. So I think something like this. Work, and I will try to make it look better without making any shorts, which is important. And I might put them flat on the board. I think it's better. Just have to check if there are no shorts because those pins are going everywhere. One, but I'll leave for one I just dropped. Here it is. Yeah. What do you think? Are they looking good enough? I wish I had the XL ones, but I don't. This is quite a lot of work, all the bending. I thought it would be easier. Hey Andy, good evening. Good to see you. And Peter, good evening as well. And yes, I will reply to your email as well. Sorry, Facebook message. So let's get rid of these gel bars and hopefully this is it. That's number 2. Really not easy to get into the correct size. Also making sure there's no shorting going on here. It's a lot easier with the axial ones, but I will do it this way. Double check. I think this is okay, yes. And it's still looking quite good, quite well, so quite good. So I think this is a solution. I've done this maybe once or twice in the past to get rid of the jail bars, and this will be, I think, the first time or so. Let's see if it helps with this specific board. Oh well, this is a hard one because this will create a short. Let's get it out. We'll do it differently in a second. Let's put this one on the other side. And I'm going to do this one a bit differently. Yeah, this should be okay. Almost. Something like this. I think it's important that it still will look great as well as it will work perfectly. So I'm being quite careful with this. So then we see, are there no shorts there? No, this is perfect. Yeah. 3 more and then we're done. Then we're free. Oh, there's the small. So expect me to be back tomorrow at about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon to do more repair and refurbishment work. Oh, this one is the same problem with also a track going underneath, so I should be more careful. This one is the same problem. Oh my. And this one as well. This is no good. How can I solve this? I could just lift it up, but I'm not sure if that's enough. So with the axial ones, this is no issue, but with these ones, you should make sure that there's no way that it will touch the track that's going underneath. I can just modify this a bit. I think this will be better. Where's my music? Has the music stopped? No more music. Oh. It's quite a lot of work. Replacing the normal capacitors is easier. Yeah, this is better. I like this. It's quiet. It's awfully quiet now. Right. So this one is about okay. Just making sure it won't touch that other track there. And just need to modify this one a bit. That's better. I could use some insulation maybe, but because if you pick up the board, for example, and you push on it, you shouldn't push the parts to the tracks, causing shorts. Let me check if this is what it should be. Looks just fine. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, that should be it. Maybe just push this a little. Yeah, that's better. That's better. All right. Okay, I still think it looks quite decent. So let's see if this improves the picture output. Yeah, we'll see, Andy, if these capacitors will solve the vertical jail bars. Does it bend? Does it blend? Anyway, okay, let's see, I'm curious. And maybe put in some more music for the time being. Let's see if we have something. This is 38 minutes, should be enough. Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's see. Will it be better? Did I switch? No, I didn't switch to the other camera. And I forgot to cut the pins as well, so I have to get back first. If I hear this music, these are just AY sign chips, but they really pushed the chips to the max, and I wonder if the clones can do this, of course. Alright. Yeah, it's better. So, think this is about the final testing, because when I will replace the ULA chip and remove the socket and add a heatsink, the board will still function the same, of course. But now we should see a difference on the video output. So I'm curious. I still didn't send the connector here, so let's do that first. Contact should be gone now, I hope. Alright, I think I can still see something, but it should be better. What else could it be? Good question. But as I said, this is the television that shows those details the most, so most of the time on other TVs you won't even notice this. There's no sound with the demo. Do we have a better demo? Let me check. We'll just get a new wave then. New wave is cool. I think it's quite nice. Yeah, that's quite cool. You can still see some vertical bar issues, but it's really 80%, 90% less than what it was. So I think it's cool. The machine is running just fine. So the last thing that should be done is remove the socket and put a heatsink on it. So I'm happy with this. What do you think, guys? Is this a proper refurbishment, or should something else be done? Yeah, you can still see some, but you have to look closely. Something that I still could improve, I wonder. So I think for this board, this is about as good as it gets. If there could be something improved, I would want to do it, but I'm not sure if there's much that can be done. Could be the ULA chip, maybe, I don't know. So I think it's good. All right. So what else? What time is it? It's 11 o'clock here. You can see it on my ByteDelight clock here. Anyway, I think it's good for today. We did a lot of questions. We did some refurbished work. Let me just put the box here so it's in one place. We will remove the rest, and of course his case. We'll put the machine back in once the ULA chip is put on a board and the socket is removed. And I always test ULA chips before I solder them in boards, because I have to check if the tape input is working and the keyboard is fully working, that sort of thing, you know. I want to make sure that everything works before soldering in the ULA chip. So I'm happy for today, and as I said, I will be back tomorrow at about 1 or 2 o'clock UK or Dutch time. That doesn't matter because I don't know what time it will be actually. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm glad so many people were in the chat. If you have more questions tomorrow, please let me know. And that's it for today. Have a beer, and I will see you tomorrow. So, bye!